Some people call it Christmas for football, but today is signing day for head coach Ron English. Fifth signing day for the boss man here in charge at Eastern Michigan, and we're happy to have him here on Eagle All Access. I'm Greg Steiner. Thanks for hanging with us. Coach, it's got to feel good to get this one in the books, year number 5, and possibly what some people are calling your best one yet.
Well, that's amazing. But I think it keeps getting better every year. I think we have a system in place that helps us. And we just really do a nice job of evaluating. And I thought it would be a tough year because we didn't last year perform the way we wanted to. But I keep trying to find displeasure with this class, and I really cannot.
Overall, you guys signed 21 incoming student athletes, but best of all, 5 of them are rated 3-star and above by the recruiting services, including the program's first ever 4-star recruit.
No question, no question. I just think that the coaches do a great job of evaluating, and then I think our process of how we evaluate, how we measure student athletes, the time we spend in their schools and in their homes is invaluable.
Of those, a lot of the people you got on the offensive side of the ball, especially bringing in 2 quarterbacks, and you also went heavy in the safety and linebacker positions, both needs you had to have coming off last year. Let's talk about the filling in roles that are departed now.
Well, I think both those quarterbacks are outstanding. Bossard is a guy who, was in our camp. We got him at 4.51 in the 40, natural thrower. Played football in PA, and then Brogan Roback is just a stud. We're happy to have. I love his demeanor. I love his attitude. The guy was recruited by a lot of people. Once he made his decision, he was done with it, and so I'm really proud of the way he hung in there with us, and it doesn't hurt having his sister here.
Yeah, like I say, it's pretty nice to have somebody who's already familiar with the EMU way of life. So that's a nice touch. But the other big change is only 3 JUCO kids this year, down quite a bit from past years. How has it kind of been the adjustment be able to get more high school kids now into the program versus having to go for the quick fix at JUCO?
Well, I think the first couple years, really the first year we're here for half of a month, and then the second year we had not won a game, and our facilities were not really what they needed to be, and we struggled, and we took more junior college kids than we wanted to. But really the last 3 classes have been really solid, not only in terms of the number of JC kids, which we took 7 a couple years ago, but they all performed, and a couple of them were all Mid-American Conference type players. And then we've just been building through the high school and having less and less junior college players and more high school players. And but the real thing that to me has happened is we're able to recruit our state and our local states, and that really is the meat of what we want to do here, recruiting.
Well, you mentioned that, getting back to the local atmosphere. Between Ohio, Michigan, and Indiana, you come away with 12 players, and that's saying something because in past years, Eastern's really struggled to get in touch, especially with Michigan coaches, and you have 3 top 50 guys in the state now.
Yeah, no, it's good. We work hard at it. We really do. We have our program open so that the coaches can come anytime. As you know, Greg, after any spring football practice, we'll clinic with them. And we just do a nice job of inviting them here. Our camps now are well attended. And so I think that they come here, they see the atmosphere and the coaches and the way we do things, and we're an option.
One of the things that you've talked about, getting better athletes, but also better people. I mean, you look at some of these kids, a kid like Austin Barnes, who's donated back to his community with Kicking for Cans. That's something you stress is life lessons, not just being a player out on that football field.
Well, not just, Austin, which, he's an amazing person, this kicker. But there are several guys in this class that have done a boatload of community service, which, if you go online and read their bios, you'll see that are just good people. We've done some things academically here in the sense that, when I came, our GPA was about a 2.5, and now it's 2.89, and it'll be soon above 3.0. So we're recruiting the right kids. We have good talent. We were young last year, so I'm really fired up about incorporating a couple of these newcomers, and our team just really taking off in terms of growth.
A lot of schools shy away from giving kickers scholarships. You now, of course, bring in a punter after Jay Carruth's one of the best punters ever to put in a uniform here at Eastern Michigan. Thoughts on scholarshiping kickers?
Well, Austin had really proven himself throughout the country. He had, he was an alternate for the Army game, and so he had been to several camps, won plenty of awards, and we did a lot, really exhaustive evaluation. And we thought we were going to lose him to Minnesota there at the end because they really tried to get him to come. He's been, a couple schools tried to get him to gray shirt, a couple of BCS schools. So my thoughts are, without a kicking game, you can't win games, and so we value specialists. We gave a scholarship to Chris Oriski, a snapper, a scholarship to a punter, Austin Barnes, and then so we feel good about that.
What's also we talked about the guys who have the 4 stars and the 3 stars. Are there any sleepers that you kind of got that maybe slid under the radar that you're really proud of?
Well, I don't really go by the stars. Until you guys gave me this press release, I didn't know who had what stars. But we were fortunate to get Reginald Bell from Dorsey High School in California. He's been committed to Tulane the whole time. He had a really high GPA, but not a high enough test score to be admitted. And I got a call from an old friend of mine who told me about him. And, you're always this late in recruiting. You're like, come on now. But I called the guy who recruited him at Tulane, Eric Price, who was my roommate at Northern Arizona 20 years ago. And EP told me, he said, no, we really wanted Reggie. He was the high hurdler champion in the state of California. He can run. He's 6'3". He's not a big guy yet. He's 180 pounds. But he's a great kid, and we really wanted him and asked him to hang in there with us until we could work something out. But the family was offended. So we got that guy. We couldn't. If we were trying to find that guy and we found him, we'd be happy to get him. So we were very fortunate there. But in terms of, Jacob King was in our camp, another guy who's big and can run. A 6'2" receiver who's going to be 200 pounds all day long, can run. I really like him. DeAndre Moore Young, the corner from Glendale Community College in Arizona. He's another track guy. He was a 10.56 guy in high school. I think he'll be an immediate impact. I don't know if the Quan Pace got a 3-star or 2-star or whatever, but I know that we evaluated him as the best corner at Cass Tech in terms of the way he played. So I'm really excited about him. Levante Robinson, the linebacker from St. Ed's, is really a thumper, the guy that we needed, another guy we had in camp. Iowa was on him to the very end, and then we ended up getting him. Mario Swan is another guy who, we had to wait out Indiana for him. Big guy, 6'2", 205 pounds. And it's interesting because we took two defensive linemen from Indiana, one offensive lineman. The two kids were from Lawrence Central, and then Dwayne Brown from Warren Central. And so I'd known Warren Central for years. Well, they all know. That's how I measure them. They all say, oh, yeah, we know who Swan is. He did this and that in our game. So Mario Swan is a guy from the time I saw him on tape I was excited about. So, I just feel really good about. And I can't forget, Nathan Adams is a guy that I wanted because of the way he plays. He is a physical guy who loves football. I had a chance to go watch him play basketball, and he was a good basketball player. I'm really excited about him and his whole entire family. I'm happy with the class.
Well, it sounds like overall everybody has reason to be excited. There's a little for everybody in there. But now you get home, off the road for a little while, recharge the batteries with the family now, because spring practice just around the corner. Of course, March 12th, you're going to open up spring practice. Still lots to get done before then and now.
Well, just around the corner. We have a new coordinator, so there's some excitement there. And we have a new defensive coordinator, so there's some excitement there. And, it's right around the corner. In fact, there's been no rest for the weary. We've jumped right back into it. In fact, this year, we normally take a couple days off right after the signing day, but this year we're not going to be able to do that. But I'm excited about the team and about being here, and look forward to bringing a terrific football team to Rynearson Stadium this fall.
Well, we can't wait. The spring game not too soon as well. We'll have that game here on Eagle All Access as always, and we'll also have plenty more on the changes in the program, coaching changes as well, as long as all the new recruits here on EMUeagles.com. For Coach English, I'm Greg Stenner. Thanks for watching Eagle All Access.